Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
This person might have already watched one of the videos I made about meat. It's on the Q&A series if you want to go into the... So, one example we have from our history is Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj refusing to eat the food of Malik Bhago. You know that story? So, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj goes to Malik Bhago's house, goes to Pai Lalo's house and sits eating the simple roti. Malik Bhago is a rich guy and he's very wealthy and he wants to feed Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So he keeps on calling Guru Nanak Dev Ji to eat food. Maharaj keeps saying, "No, I'm happy here." And finally Malik Bhago gets annoyed and comes down with his food and says, "What's wrong with my food? Why you don't want to eat my food?" Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj then takes the roti of Malik Bhago, the roti of Pai Lalo Ji, squeezes it. And out of Pai Lalo's roti comes out milk. Out of Malik Bhago's roti comes out blood. That means for most people that we should be eating food that is non-exploitative, yeah? But actually, where does blood come from? From meat. ठीक है ना? So Maharaj is saying, look, that's the meat actually. Real meat is exploitation. So it's not enough not to eat to be vegetarian. There's a lot of people that are like, "I'm vegetarian, man. I'm all right." But it's not as easy as that. Non-exploitation is a principle. Yeah. So therefore, being vegetarian is way, way not enough. We have to actually live a life of non-exploitation. So that means like child labor, all these things that Boss have just raising the question are wrong. And we should work to end exploitation. In fact, our hukam is to set up deg all over the world. Food, justice. Okay? Basic human rights and basic human justice. So that means that exploitation is wrong. Children should be studying, shouldn't they? They shouldn't be working in factories. Okay? There's plenty of unemployed people out everywhere in the world that could do that work instead. So if the Sikh were going to rule the world, then they wouldn't have child labor. ठीक है ना? That's a key principle. However, you could spend your whole life reading labels, trying to work out how to live in the least negative way possible. But at the same time, you might not do anything positive. You know how the world is, yeah? Basically, the Jains, they took this principle to the end level. Now they walk and they sweep the ground in front of them. They got a mouth thing in front of their mouth to make sure they don't breathe anything in. So we're going to do pop every single second. Yeah? Every single second we're bound to do pop because there was insects in that air I just breathed in. And those insects probably died when they went in my lung. Small microbes. So you can't limit all your pop totally. So the possible thing we could do is accept we're going to do pop, do naam japana, and then do good as well. Right? So Sikhi is about doing good and about accepting that we are going to do some pop. ठीक है ना? And trying to go above that. So that's what I say, is try and do the best you can to limit your consumption of food and stuff that is not made in good conditions, but at the same time trying to maximize your good as well, because you're going to get better of that. You know, maybe you can't stop Nike, you know, making using shoes of child labor. You might be able to stop wearing it yourself and feel, "Oh, I'm all right, Jack." But actually, to stop that system, you need to take over the world and change that system. That's the true Yoda that changes the system and not just takes himself out of the system. The yogis, for example, took themselves out of the system. They said, "This system is messed up, man. Let's go live in the mountains." Yeah? And they go, "We're all right now." But Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj went to them and said, "Look." They said, "What's the world like?" And he goes, "You know what? The world is in terrible state. And all the people that know anything about this world are living up in the mountains." Means you lot. So the Gurdwara needs to stop becoming our modern mountain. Yeah, nowadays the Gurdwara is our mountain. We come here, do our Sikhi, go out in the world, do our jobs, and we don't engage in the world. There could be exploitation, we're not bothered. Yeah. At this moment in time, slavery is the biggest it's ever been. Do we know that? Modern slavery is bigger than it's ever been. But the Sikhs were famous for stopping slavery. When Ahmad Shah Abdali would come down through Afghanistan to go and raid the Mughal kingdom of Delhi, the Sikhs would stop him on his way back and rescue all the women. What's happening now with the women from Moldova who get brought over here, forced? How many Singhs are out there trying to save them? We've got to take a deep look at ourselves, and are we actually worthy of being called the Khalsa of Guru Gobind Singh Ji? I think a lot more people would join our Panth if we started doing some of that stuff. People like, yeah man, Singhs are in Chardi Kala. Did you hear about those Singhs? They got shaheed on to save women from the Albanian terrorists. People be joining the Panth more when we start giving shahidiyan and doing what's meant to be done. The more we sit around in our nice houses, fat yards, fat cars, no one cares. People think, hey, thodi Khalsa hai. When we start living the tough life, becoming buggy and or Padsha, then people will join the Khalsa Panth. Because people will be like, who are these people? Who do they think they are? Just taking on the terrorists and doing this and doing that. Who are they? Who say, we are Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Khalsa. Yeah, made by God.